Hello and welcome back to Jenna Gets Creative. It's a new month and that means it's time for the Colors of the Month challenge. If this is your first time watching a Colors of the Month video, I'll take a second to explain what it is. Marker Universe is an online marker retailer for North America run by a company called Imagination International Inc. If that sounds familiar, that's because they used to be North America's exclusive distributor of Copic products, but Copic's manufacturer in Japan, ended third-party distributors earlier this year, and they had to adapt their business. This challenge started out as the Copic Colors Challenge, and they renamed it when they lost the Copic contract. Basically, this challenge is a standard 3-marker challenge, but instead of drawing markers from your collection at random, the colors have been picked for you. You don't have to use markers either, and if you do, you don't have to use the exact same ones they picked. They encourage color matching and use of other mediums, including digital, if that's what you have available or what you want to work with. November's colors are 2 shades of blue and a silver. By the way, if you're new here, I would love it if you would subscribe and ring the bell for notifications. I upload every Tuesday and Thursday at minimum, though I do upload bonuses fairly often. You're guaranteed a bonus video on the 3rd Friday of every month because that's when we members of the Art Addicts Alliance upload our monthly collaboration videos. Also, a note on the notification bell, if you haven't heard yet, YouTube has changed how that works. When you first ring the bell, you'll be defaulted to personalized, which means only some notifications, and the bell will be an outline. If you want to receive all notifications, click it again and make sure the bell is all the way filled in. If you like this video, don't forget to hit like and leave a comment down below. I really do appreciate the interaction. I love reading all your comments and I do reply to everyone. Have you tried Colors of the Month yet? How about any old 3-marker challenge in general? What do you think of this month's colors and what I did with them? Let's talk about it in the comments down below. So as I mentioned a moment ago, this month's colors are 2 blues and silver. Last month we used gold, now we're doing silver. I expect this is because they recently started carrying the Caran Brush Marker Pro metallic line called Deco Brush, and they're excited about it, but honestly I hope they go back to 3 normal colors next month. I'm already over the mixed media aspect. I do a lot of mixed media in my artwork in general, but what I love about the Colors of the Month challenge is that it's a 3-marker challenge. I chose to use my dollar store gel pen in silver for the silver element, and that means I'm down to just 2 markers, and they're 2 shades of the same color, blue. These shades in particular don't really create much of an interesting 3rd shade when layered either, so I had to get creative. I decided to scribble onto a ceramic surface and dilute the alcohol ink with rubbing alcohol so that I could get a new tone and apply it to the paper with a paintbrush. It certainly doesn't result in nearly as smooth a finish as using the ink straight from the marker, and this paper didn't appreciate the extra moisture, but for this particular composition, I think the cloudy effect really works well. Let's take a minute to talk about the actual colors Marker Universe has us using this month. As always, I'm not going to read out the hex codes for color matching and digital, but I'll be sure to leave it in the description box. And like last month, I'm going to put the full official color listing on screen as the video plays through. Marker Universe does suggest an exact color for all the products that they sell for each month's colors, but again, you can pick a similar color in one of these brands or match it in something else. These colors are just a suggestion. The light blue shade is Copic B04 Tahitian Blue. I don't own that, so I used the next shade lighter, which is B02 Robin's Egg Blue. Marker Universe's other official brand and color suggestions for the lighter blue are Caran Sky Blue, Crink Light Blue, Graphite Brush Marker Cyan, Grapho Marker Cyan, Sakura Koi Sky Blue, Winsor Newton Cyan, and Tombow Cyan. The darker blue is shade Copic B29 Ultramarine, and this one I do own, so I used it. The other official suggestions are Caran Egyptian Blue, Crink Blue, Graphite Brush Marker Cobalt, Grapho Marker Ultramarine, Sakura Koi Blue, Winsor & Newton Royal Blue, and Tombow Reflex Blue. The silver is, of course, silver, and as I already stated, I'm using my cheapy dollar store Le Grip silver pen. The official suggestions are just all the brands they sell that have a metallic, and those are Karin Deco Brush, Krink, Graphite Shake, Sakura Jelly Roll Stardust, Sakura Pen Touch, Sakura Permapack, and Winsor & Newton Pro Marker Metallics. All of the blue tones made me think of the sky, which is probably a pretty mundane choice, so I wanted to do something with enough interest to it not to be boring, but still simple enough to accommodate such a limited palette. I decided to do a cat sitting in a window looking out at a starry night sky. I'm not actually watching my footage play back right now as I'm recording my voiceover, so I still don't know how it happened, but when I was done this piece, I sent a picture off to my friend Weblight Dreams, and only then did I notice I had smudged all of the gel pen stars. I have no idea how I did that. Did I close the book at some point too soon? Did I brush my hand over it and not realize what I was doing? I don't know. Let me know if you catch it happening. By the way, the sketchbook being used is a Copic brand uncoated marker paper sketchbook that I got in a sketchbox last November. It's coil bound and about an A6 size. I got a lot of use out of it during Inktober, and there's still so much room left in here. It has lots of pages. If you notice me fiddling with a silvery looking thing under the page I'm working on, the sketchbook came with a sheet at the back that's a different material, so we can use it under the page we're working on since the paper is uncoated. I just line it up with the coils and then tape the opposite end to the next page with some low-tack washi tape. The paintbrush I ended up using is a Princeton Snap Filbert from June's Art Snacks Plus, and the rubbing alcohol is just generic pharmacy first aid rubbing alcohol. The ceramic is a ramekin. I got a pack of 3 from the dollar store for mixing watercolors, but it works great for diluting pigments from markers too. Anyway, that's pretty much all I've got to say on this one. I know this makes it a bit shorter than average for my videos, but that's okay. You're going to get bonus videos in 3 of the next 4 weeks, and then I've got big plans for December, so this video is allowed to come a little short, right? Bye guys.